Donnie and Dolly, the team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Oh man.
Love this.
Yeah, absolutely. Sam Spence in the NFL Films Music. All of our guests today, including Ross Tucker, who's coming up in a matter of moments, sponsored by Basant Motors. It's celebrating Basant Motors. Its 30th anniversary by giving away their annual scholarship. $30,000 in scholarships will be awarded. More information at basantmotors.com/scholarship. Rick, you are not eligible for that, just so you know.
Oh, no, I got no scholarships in my life, so not hard to believe.
Here's somebody who went to Princeton. Ross Tucker from the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, talking NFL Week 1, although it's still got a game to go. Ross, looking good. Long time no talk to or see. How are you, sir?
Yeah, likewise. Good to see you guys as well. Am I eligible for the Basant Motors thing?
Yes, absolutely. We're taking applications after the show. I think it's a variety of cars.
High end, Ross, high end.
I'm telling you, Ross, they've got a 79 Pinto there that will knock your socks off, okay?
High end, and I'm eligible. Let's do it. Basant, tell me what I need to do to win.
It doesn't get better than that. How about answer a few football questions? Seahawks beat the Colts 28-16. Hey, what did you notice about Russell Wilson and what new offensive coordinator Shane Waldron were up to?
Well, it's interesting because obviously a lot of people are praising Waldron, and I understand that. But the thing I would temper people's enthusiasm a little bit would be we've seen this prior years. I mean, we saw this last year where through the first 5 or 6 weeks of the season, Russell Wilson was the presumptive MVP, and then things sort of fell off after that. So I wouldn't get too far ahead thinking, oh, it's a new team, it's a new offense. Russell Wilson's chucking it deep. They're letting Russ cook. Look, it was awesome. You know, the touchdown passes. Tyler Lockett is like a magician out there. I love watching him, and I hope it continues. But it just feels like, guys, we've seen this other years, and then things start to cool off for one reason or the other. So let's see if Russell Wilson and the Seahawks passing game can really keep it going all year this year.
A little bit off the subject, Ross. Russell Wilson took 0 preseason snaps. He wasn't the only one in the NFL to do that, to come up with that approach. Is that going to become more normal?
Well, I think it has been with every passing year now. And I don't know, I guess reasonable minds can disagree, right? I mean, I think most people would say that 2 of the best coaches in the NFL are Andy Reid and Bill Belichick, and both those guys played their starters a bunch. In at least 2 of the 3 preseason games, they might have played their starters in all 3. So, again, I think reasonable minds can argue, okay, is it worth doing that? Or what about the Ravens where J.K. Dobbins gets hurt on the 9th play of the last preseason game, and that might have a huge negative impact on their season? I probably would lean towards being cautious, but I know some guys, some players, they want some preseason action. They want to get their feet wet at least a little bit, a couple of series before the opener.
Hey, Ross, Aaron Rodgers, that was one of his worst outings of his career. Are you surprised? Is this a one-off? What are your thoughts there?
I am surprised. I don't know yet if it's a one-off. I will say this, and I don't know if this is a major factor or not, but last year, Aaron Rodgers was not happy. They took Jordan Love in the first round. He wanted a receiver. He was angry. He was mad, and it felt like he came out with a chip on his shoulder to prove something, and he was the MVP of the league. This year, I don't know. I mean, every time I heard anything about Aaron Rodgers, it was either Jeopardy or he was like in Hawaii with some actresses and actors like around waterfalls. Even when I look at the guy, he looks like a yoga instructor to me. And I don't know. I mean, maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. But so far, angry Aaron seems a lot better than yoga instructor Aaron to me.
7 minutes left, Ross, and the Browns are looking good. I'm thinking, you know what, they could pull this off. And then the punter fumbles the ball, and Mahomes takes advantage. What were your thoughts on the Chiefs and Browns? I thought it was an excellent game.
Well, it was an awesome game, but as I tweeted earlier today at Ross Tucker NFL, it's a huge missed opportunity for the Browns.
Big time.
And I'm not one of those guys that's saying, "Oh no, the season's lost." No, season's fine, but if you want to get the number one seed, and we know how important that is now, guys, remember, the number one seed's the only one that gets a bye. And then you get home field for the next two games. You got to win that game.
Yeah.
I mean, they were up 29-20 in the fourth quarter, and then Mahomes threw a preposterous pass that I thought was going to get intercepted. Instead, Tyreek Hill catches it, takes it in for a touchdown, and then the punter loses his mind. And I could lose my mind talking about punters and kickers and why they're even out there in the first place. Yep. And the Browns end up losing. And I just feel like week 16, 17, 18, we'll be looking back on that and saying, oh, man, the Browns could have had the number one seed, but they blew it week one. Kind of the same with Buffalo at home against Pittsburgh.
I was going to ask.
I mean, it's only one game, but you got to win that. You got to win those winnable games if you want the number one seed, which makes a big difference.
How much is, and everybody going into the game was talking about Josh Allen, Ben Roethlisberger, 39 years old. How much, maybe we forgot about him, how much has he got left at the age of 39?
He looks very similar to me that he did last year. Mm-hmm. He did not throw it deep very often. The Steelers could not run the ball with Najee Harris at all. Not at all. But he was able to throw the underneath stuff. His receivers, Claypool and Deontay Johnson, made enough plays. But really, the story of that game was their defense. I mean, the Steelers' defense was awesome. Then they get the blocked punt for a touchdown. Again, both those games came down to a blocked punt or a punt issue. Special teams, man, it's especially early in the season, it feels like it can be a difference maker.
I know you were a point guard at one point. Did you ever do any punting at all? Maybe in high school?
No, I did do some snapping. I could do the short snap. By the way, I love, Donnie, that you remember that I was a point guard, the dancing bear, if you will.
Yeah. Wow.
So, but I could do the short snap, which is like on field goals and extra points. But my punt snapping was not very good. I think what people don't realize about like NFL long snappers, those guys have strong arms. Mm-hmm. Those guys are all guys that can throw a baseball 80 plus miles per hour. Like, you got to have some natural God-given ability to zip it back there as fast as those guys do. And I could not throw a baseball over 80 miles an hour. So I did not have what it took to be an NFL caliber long snapper, but man, that would have been nice. Those guys play forever. They don't get hit that much. Yeah. It's a nice gig if you can get it.
How could I forget about you as a point guard? You talked about it for an hour on one of our shows on the old station. And I think what happened was somebody criticized offensive linemen as not being great athletes, and pointed out what a great athlete you were. You're a point guard in high school. Hey, what's Matthew Stafford going to do for the Rams? They win last night.
Well, he looked pretty darn good, didn't he? Mm-hmm. They didn't run the ball very well either, but this is what McVay wanted. I mean, McVay wanted Stafford to be able to chuck the ball deep, make big plays. That's exactly what they did. That's why he's there. And this is a career-defining year for Matthew Stafford, right? Because you can kind of say everything that happened in Detroit was because it was in Detroit, was because he was a Lion. If he doesn't get it done at a high level with the Rams, then it's kind of like, it's on you, Matthew. And really, they went to the divisional round last year. So the bar is set pretty high for Stafford. It's NFC Championship game or Super Bowl or bust.
Hey, Ross, before we let you go, Jones, Lawrence, Wilson, rookie quarterbacks getting starts. Which one stood out for you in a positive way?
I thought Mac Jones looked the best. Yeah. And he's the last one taken out of all five of them. But he looked calm, cool, collected. He made some terrific throws. Patriots win that game if their running backs didn't fumble twice in the red zone like they did. I thought Mac Jones looked like a veteran, like I kind of think a lot of us thought he would look like.
Ross, outstanding to have you back. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you next Monday.
Absolutely. See you guys.
You bet.
Thanks, Ross.